So as we're talking to new investors, like, okay, should I buy AMC, Professor Keys? Should I buy Dogecoin, Professor Keys? Like, help me understand, should I do this? Well, first, let's talk about a couple of things, right, before I make my recommendation. Understanding that you have to make your own choices as investors, right? Again, the cost of success is commitment, right? The cost of wealth really is sacrifice and also commitment, right? We're not swimming in the oceans of knowledge again and drowning in ignorance. So first, I will ask every single investor watching this, have you paid off your debt? Because it can be expensive to invest, right? Not every single investment that you make is going to return 6,000% in a year, like Dogecoin, right? Sometimes your investments may return 10 to 15%, but you have credit card debt that's costing you 22 and 24% APR. Right? Some of you all, the interest that you're paying on debt is higher than the return that you'll make in the stock market. And so my recommendation to every single new investor is that you pay down your debt, especially your revolving debt, like credit cards, before you start investing, right? Because your returns may be getting eaten up on your monthly bill. Secondly, you want to make sure that you dollar cost average. And what that means is that you budget for investing like you budget for your light bill, right? You budget for investing like you budget for your mortgage, right? That's how you invest, because you can't time the market, right? So that means that if you're investing every other week, then you invest on the highs, you invest in the lows, right? So budget for it. Next, very important. Short squeeze. Not short squeeze. I'm reading the comments. Diversify. You need to diversify. So diversification means that 100% of your money should never go to buying shares in AMC. And 100% of your money should never go towards just buying Dogecoin. I know that the Dogecoin millionaire has really achieved popularity across the internet by using his savings to invest in Dogecoin. And at one point, his portfolio was worth $2.7 million. But again, that's the exception and not the rule. Diversification means that you need to have multiple investments in your portfolio, okay? Super important, multiple investments in your portfolio. So that's exchange traded funds, that is some individual stocks might be in there. And yes, you can have cryptocurrency, but I wouldn't personally recommend cryptocurrency being more than 5% of your overall portfolio. And then finally, how we started the live, you get rich over time and not necessarily overnight. So you have to be patient, right? You don't want to get in and say, I didn't make 5x returns in 2 minutes, and so I'm ready to quit. So let's talk about 3 investments that I think that every new investor should consider. The first is you want to make sure that you invest in exchange traded funds that track major indices. And when I say major indices, I'm talking about the S&P 500, which is the top 500 publicly traded companies. I'm talking about the Dow Jones, which is 30 large companies. I'm talking about the NASDAQ. When you buy into an exchange traded fund, it's like with an exchange traded fund, buying a percentage of ownership in a mall and owning a percentage of all of the stores inside. So imagine you bought the S&P 500 mall. Inside of that mall is Apple, Amazon, Google, Johnson & Johnson. And instead of happen to go and buy a stock in Amazon, which is incredibly expensive, you can own a piece of all of those companies by simply paying one price for the fund. That's the easiest way to explain an exchange traded fund. It gives you instant diversification in multiple companies with just one purchase. Two exchange traded funds that I really like are VOO. That is a Vanguard S&P 500 ETF trust. And some of the companies that are represented in their top 10 holdings include Amazon, Microsoft, Facebook, and Google, right? Today, you probably was on Facebook. If you weren't on Facebook, you was on Instagram. Some of y'all can't keep your hands and your fingertips outside of Amazon, right? Amazon at your doorstep every 2 minutes. The Amazon delivery guy know your name, right? He know all your business, right? He know who coming in and out of your house every single day because he there every single day. Amazon, Google. You use Google every single day. Some of y'all don't even know Yahoo's name. Hello. So you're essentially investing in those companies that you use on a regular basis without having to buy individual shares. The next one that I like is SPY, right? So that's the S&P 500 Spider ETF Trust. So these, when I give you these letters are the stock symbols. So when you type in VOO or SPY into Robinhood, for example, you are able, right, to pull up these funds and purchase them. So the SPY has the same holdings as the Vanguard, VOO. So that's the Amazon, the Microsoft, the Facebook. But then also they have Tesla is in there as a top 10 holding. And also Berkshire Hathaway. So I know some of y'all love yourself some Warren Buffett. Love Warren Buffett. You know, think Warren Buffett is the oracle of investing. So his fund or his company is actually on there and it's invested in, right? Now here's the thing. When you look up these two companies, you'll see that their price tags are $380 and above at the time of this recording. And for a lot of you all, you might be like, oh my God, I don't think I can afford that. That is super expensive. The great thing about some brokerage accounts is they allow you to purchase fractional shares. And that means that you can buy a little piece of a share and put something down on it every other month until you own a full share. So imagine it's like putting stock on layaway, but you own a little bit of what you purchased until you can own the whole thing. So like when I was growing up, one of the most popular pants during that time was Parasucos. Y'all remember Parasucos and Durangos, right? And starter jackets? Like everybody wanted that. Maybe I'm aging myself. I don't know. Right? But like they were super expensive. So you would go to the store, you put a little something on it. You know, you could put a little $5 on it, $10 on it, a little $20 on it. I put a little, today I'm feeling bossy, so I'm putting $30 down on it, right? But you don't own it until, right, you pay full price for whatever the sticker sale price was, right? But here's the thing. With fractional share investing, if you pay like for 0.20 of VOO, right, one of the ETFs, then you own 0.20. So it's almost like paying for those Parasucos and they give you one leg of the jean, right? You put a little something down, they give you a button. A little something down, they give you a pocket. Some more, right? They give you the other pants leg until you own the entire pants, right? So that's how it goes. That's how you got to look at it. You know, you put your shoes on layaway, you get the shoestrings one day, you get the tongue the other day, you get the heel of the shoe the next day, next thing you know, you own the whole shoe. All right? So that's how it works. Next is you want to think about sector-specific ETFs, right? So sector-specific exchange-traded funds, right? This is super important for those of you all who are like, okay, S&P 500, top 500 publicly traded companies. I want to get very specific about what I want, right? So it's the people who swipe on Bumble and they're like, here are my requirements. Let it be a man, right? For the guys or gals, whatever, listening, here are my requirements. Let it be a woman, right? And then some of y'all get specific. Y'all like, oh, he got to be taller than 5'6". He's got to be a Sagittarius or Libra. He got to be in college, got a college degree. He got to learn a trade, right? He got to be blue collar because I need him to fix something around this house. Hello, right? We got to have the same interests. Both of us got to like Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. You know, some of y'all get real specific, right? So that's a sector-specific ETF. Is normally what they do is they focus in on a sector like technology, industrial, energy, right? So they're focusing on a sector, right? Communications. And two that I really like are VGT. So VGT is the Vanguard Information Technology Sector ETF. So VGT, again, is the stock symbol. And with VGT, they track information technology or tech companies. So yeah, you will see the Microsoft, the Apple, and the Google, but you'll also see companies like Visa, right? So Visa was super popular during the pandemic because people weren't using cash. You know, they were using their credit cards, their debit cards, because cash is dirty and people done breathe, cough on their cash. You know, your grandma done had the cash all up in her sweaty bra right before she paid for stuff. Love grandma, but her boobs sweat. So like VGT allows for you to invest in just tech companies. Then you have VOX, right? So VOX is another Vanguard product. I promise Vanguard has not sponsored this live, but I love their products. And that is communications, right? So VOX communications for Vanguard. I see somebody said Libra gang. Sagittarius gang all day over here. Shout out to the fire signs. For VOX, they have companies like Comcast, right? Verizon. Shout out to Verizon. Verizon works everywhere. I'm sorry, AT&T and Sprint. And then they have Netflix, right? So we were just talking about Netflix. So these are like companies that help you communicate and stay connected to the world, either by entertainment or because you picked up the phone and you said, can you hear me? And they're like, yes, boo, everywhere, because I got Verizon. Okay, no shade, no tea. All right, so let's keep going. Yeah, I love Geminis too. My mom is a Gemini. All right, so the last one, REITs, right? When I say REITs, what does that mean? That is real estate investment trust, right? The RE is real estate. I is investment. T is trust, right? So real estate was in trouble when the pandemic first started, especially as related to commercial real estate, right? Like, oh my gosh, like, are people really still going to be going to actual physical stores, right? When the economy opens back up, are we all going to live on Zoom forever and always? Please, Jesus, no. I'm so tired of Zoom. Love you, Zoom, because you've made me a lot of money, but I'm ready to get off. I want to see people. I'm an extrovert. I want to hug y'all. I want to love on y'all. I just want to hold your hand. You know, I feed off energy in the room. That's why I love labs. So, but real estate investment trust. Now is the time to start diversifying your portfolio with real estate. And you can own real estate even if you're not purchasing a home, a duplex, or a multi-unit. And two real estate investment trusts that I really like, and just keep in mind, right, there are mortgage REITs, right? So mortgage REITs, you know, they own the mortgages or whatever. And there's also equity REITs, right? So they own property and they lease it out. Mortgage REITs, right? They sell mortgages, they get paid on the interest. So mortgage and equity REITs. I really like equity REITs, right? I like those funds that own the property and they lease it out to tenants. Digital Realty Trust is one real estate investment trust that I really like. Digital Realty Trust, that's data centers, right? So you taking all those pictures, and you know those people that need the best angle, so they give their phone to their friend be on the floor, up against the wall, arm all across their head, and the person never can get the best picture. So you end up with 80 pictures, same outfit, same person, and they still can't get a good picture. All that data has to be stored somewhere. You know those texts from your ex-boyfriend from 15 years ago that you go and reminisce about every year around Christmas and Kwanzaa? All that data has to be stored somewhere. So when we talk about digital realty trust and also data centers, we're talking about data centers and where those data centers house this information. And so this is kind of the wave of the future, right? We're only going to get more digital even as we come out of hibernation, and that represents a really great investment. The other thing, or the other real estate investment trust of which I'm personally invested, is Realty Income, right? So the stock ticker for that is it is O. So it's one letter, just O, like Oprah. O, Realty Income. And the great thing I like about Realty Income is that they have 6,600 properties, and they enter into leases with companies that tend to be recession ready, right? Nothing is recession proof, but some companies can be recession ready. And these are blue chip companies, really good companies that have strong balance sheets. So when they enter into leasing agreements, it's normally long-term leasing agreements, right? So we're talking about 15, 20, 25, 30 years, all right? So we're talking about the type of lease that can get the person who owns the property cash value over time. So some of the properties that they own in their portfolio include Dollar General, Circle K, Walgreens, FedEx, Home Depot, okay? So I know Dollar General, whenever your grandpa, right, your grandma see Dollar General, she got her little stocking foot trying to get over to your side of the car. Skirt, stop, baby. I got to get up here and get my chips. I got to get my styrofoam cups for only $1, right? They'd be so excited. Oh my gosh, can you believe that this is $1? Like, Grandma, we are in the Dollar General. So, and maybe it's just generally $1, I don't know. But there's Circle K, no Circle K's where I live, Walgreens, right? Legal drugs, right? They help in a clutch. FedEx, right? FedEx, you know, FedEx, Amazon person, UPS, you know, there was like this funny meme on who delivers packages the most. I think FedEx was in the middle. They don't kick your stuff at the door. And then Home Depot. I live there now that I own a home, right? They know me by my name. I'm in the sink aisle. I'm in the towel aisle, all of that. But also it's important for you to know that they also have leasing agreements with AMC and Planet Fitness. And we know that movie theaters close, right, for nearly a year. And so what that means is that they may have lost some money, right? Millions of dollars when movie theaters were unable to meet their financial obligations. And also with gyms, right? When people were buying Pelotons, working out from home, doing sit-ups near the bed, under the bed, you and babe taking jogs around the neighborhood, instead of going and working out on the treadmill, right? So they did invest in some companies that were hit very hard by the pandemic. But overall, for this particular REIT, strong dividend returns, which means that they're paying out a portion of their profits to their investors, right, in a designated period of time over time, right? I post these videos directly to my YouTube account. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers by July. So if you have not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe today. And if you have not created a profile on My Black Receipt, know that on Juneteenth, y'all, on Juneteenth, we are collecting $1 million in receipts from Black-owned businesses in celebration of the contributions that Black entrepreneurs make all across the nation, both in your community, but most recently as we commemorate the 100-year massacre in Tulsa, right? We remember the death that was caused by white vigilantes, but we also celebrate Black excellence and Black entrepreneurial endeavors. I love you all, and until next Wednesday, I will see you on my Instagram account or my YouTube channel. Bye.